Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio. So today, we are taking a look at another exciting new card coming out in the Shining Legends expansion in October. It's Manaphy, and Manaphy could be fun, ladies and gentlemen. Now, of course, it's got a terrible HP of 60 because, you know, Manaphy. And usually this is the part of the video where I'd say, but it's alright, you can search him out with Level Ball. Except Level Ball's being rotated before this set comes out. We may well get a reprint of Level Ball in the future, but for now, that's no longer an advantage. The retreat cost of 1 is really quite handy. This is generally a bench-sitting Pokemon, so it's nice that you can retreat it with only 1 energy. The weakness to grass could be a pain because of stuff like Tapu Boot. Oh, wait a second, it's got 60 HP. And the attack here, not particularly great. 2 energy, 30 damage, it's nothing to get excited about. 1 energy, 30 is fine, the aforementioned Tapu Bulu. 2 energy for 30. I mean, look, let's say you're playing in a Greninja deck. If you're desperate, you don't actually have really a damage-dealing attack in Greninja until you get up to Greninja. Froakie only has Bubble. Frogadier only has Water Duplicate. So, I suppose if you really need an attack in a Greninja deck, you can use this Manaphy to do 30 for 2 energy, but it ain't good. What is good is the ability Deep Sea Blessing. Once during your turn, you may heal 20 damage from one of your Pokemon that has a water energy attached to it. Now, there are a few water Pokemon currently seeing play. We've got Lapras, Alolan Ninetales, and Greninja, all of which are still going to see play after rotation. Now, as a fun side note here, being a water Pokemon, you can use Aqua Patch to get the energy on, but again, you're not going to be playing Aqua Patch in Greninja, and in Lapras, you've got a better basic attacker. But you're also going to have Brooklet Hill for Manaphy here, which means that Manaphy is going to be much, much easier to search out. Now, a lot of the time up till now, water decks, especially Greninja, have been relying on Rough Seas to do some healing. That is no longer an option. Rough Seas is rotating out. What you're going to have instead is you're going to have Brooklet Hill. And to be honest, an awful lot of water decks have already, before the rotation, been switching from Rough Seas over to Brooklet Hill. So that's okay. And with the healing, well, that's actually where Manaphy comes in. Because Manaphy's ability allows you to heal 20 damage from one of your Pokemon that has a water energy attached to it. But this stacks, at least for the current Japanese translation, which we assume will carry over. So with 2 Manaphy, you're healing 40 damage per turn. With 3 Manaphy, you're healing 60 damage per turn. And with 4 Manaphy, you're healing 80 damage per turn. And yes, we've lost Dive Ball, but you've still got Nest Ball, and you've still got Brooklet Hill. So it's not going to be terribly difficult to get a Manaphy out here. And Manaphy really, and this is the reason why we waited till after the rotation to make this video, Manaphy's usefulness really depends on whether you've got Rough Seas or not. Without Rough Seas, Manaphy's kind of useful. The one awkward thing is you've got to have energy attached to that Pokemon. So one thing you'd often do with Rough Seas is retreat the Pokemon and then heal it on the bench, but you've got to keep some energy on there to do it. Of course, one of the main water decks we've got at the moment is Greninja. The problem is Greninja's got 2 attacks, both for 1 energy, one of which does more damage if you put the energy back into your hand. So if you use Moonlight Slash for Greninja and you put the energy into your hand doing so, that means that Manaphy isn't going to be able to heal that Greninja. Having said that, having a bunch of Manaphy out and healing every turn is awesome. Now, do remember as well that for Greninja, you're generally going to need at least 4 of your 6 Pokemon spaces for Greninja. That's if you don't have something like a Starmie or an Octillery. So are you in Greninja going to have bench space for Manaphy? I'm not sure you will. But certainly in something like Lapras, yeah. You only need 2 or 3 Lapras on the bench with 1 or 2 Tapu Lele. So let's say you get 2 Lapras and 1 Lele, you can afford to get 3 Manaphy on the bench. And then you can be healing 60 damage from each of your Lapras every turn. And that really is where Manaphy shines. And the usefulness for Manaphy is very simple. Do you have a water Pokemon that you need to heal or want to heal, and crucially, do you have the bench space? Because 1 Manaphy here is awesome. 2 Manaphy is twice as good. 3 Manaphy, you see where I'm going with this. Having 1 Manaphy is great, but the more Manaphy you can get, the better. Is healing 20 damage a turn going to be enough? I don't know, but how many times do we get the exact KO on a Pokemon? Manaphy stops. And this isn't exactly a new ability. We've seen that Jinx, which was reprinted in Generations, allows you to heal 10 damage from your active Pokemon. That saw some play with Seismitoad for a while. We've seen Shaman EX that heals 20 damage from each of your benched basic Pokemon. So having a Pokemon sitting on the bench to heal is not a particularly new thing, and it has seen a bit of play. There is definitely potential with Manaphy here. Now, you can use this in any deck that's using Rainbow Energy as well, and that's certainly something to consider. One thing I really like here is that you can use Rainbow Energy and then immediately use Manaphy to take that 10 damage off, so you're not getting KO'd, you're avoiding the KO. Is Manaphy going to be good enough to warrant play? I don't know, but it is certainly good enough to warrant consideration. You've got to have the bench space, but with Nest Ball and Brooklet Hill, you're not going to struggle to find it. Healing is always good. You've just got to have the bench space and the deck space to pop him in. And that's why I'm going to give Manaphy 3 Wassies. It is a card to stick in your binder, because in a Lapras deck or any water deck, if you've got 1 or 2 spaces in your deck, consider chucking a Manaphy in. Now, you know the deal, ladies and gentlemen. There is a comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. Tell me what you think about Manaphy. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter @TheWassie, follow me at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio for some live action, and if you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, etc., you can find them over at patreon.com/PTCGRadio. The most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.